Hi 143 fam, I'm Antonia. Thank you for being here. Each month, I give away 2 free readings. If you would like to be considered for a free reading, leave me a comment below your video. Let me know how you've connected to the messages. Also, let me know that you have subscribed. I will alert winners in April on April 30th. So if you hear from me sooner than that, I haven't chosen winners yet. Make sure you check my reply back to you on April 30th because that's when winners will be announced. Also, I've just set up a new Instagram, so make sure you connect with me and follow me on there. I'll be following everybody back as well. You can find me under Urban Soul Guru or just look me up under channel 143 by Antonia. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'm so grateful for your support on my channel. Now let's jump in to your mid-month love horoscopes. Hi Sag. This reading is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising in love for April 15th through the end of the month. Sag in love, April 15th through the end of the month. Ooh. Okay, I'm actually not going to pull this card because this is sort of preliminary. I still want to shuffle more, but look what we have coming through, Sag. Okay? We got some big energies coming through for Sagittarius in April, especially now. Jupiter is retrograde in your sign. What I'm picking up for you, Sag, it's about taking the mask off. Somebody is wearing a mask. That could be you, that could be your partner, that could be a potential partner. But the bigger message here isn't just to take off the mask. It's that what is underneath the mask is actually more beautiful than the illusion being put forward, okay? What I'm definitely picking up for Sagittarius right now is this inability or this fear around vulnerability, okay? That vulnerability will show some sort of weakness. Asking somebody for help is a sign of weakness, and that's actually a sign of strength, okay? You will not be perceived weak by a partner if you ask them to support you, if you ask them to love you better at a higher level. But also for those of you meeting new partners, you will attract higher level partnerships, that soulmate energy that is already coming through for you so strong before we pull cards. There's somebody at a higher level who wants the real you. And ultimately, you are going to be shedding masks. You will see that in partners as well. Shedding masks, eliminating illusions, getting to the core of what's real and authentic now, especially over the course of the next 2 weeks. We're going to see that ball get rolling now, okay? Or begin to start rolling. But that will carry with you over the next few months now that Jupiter is retrograde. It's a big message for you, Sag. Take off the mask. Whoever you are meant to be with will appreciate the real you. Spending time and energy on an illusion or just being a percentage of the whole you because you think that will go over well for somebody else, you will see over the next few months, and you will definitely see over the next couple of weeks what a colossal waste of time that is for you. For some of you, you'll be forced to take this mask off. It really isn't an option for you anymore. Events will show up that will require you to show a little bit more vulnerability. Ask for help in areas you normally don't ask for help. You will be so pleasantly surprised, especially for those of you in committed partnerships, at how well your partner responds to that. How much more love you get, higher level attention, the depth that creates, even in relationships with couples who have been in relationships for years and years and years at this point, okay? So it's really beautiful. It's a beautiful message. It's not a judgmental one, okay? We all have masks and illusions, but Sag, this is a big message for you at this time, okay? For those of you who are single, that's going to be key to calling in somebody new. But let's get a little bit more clarity on this. Sag in love, April 15th through the end of the month. We already know we have this big soulmate energy that's trying to show up. Have some of you been calling in some new partners that are very high-level soulmates? Sag, if you're single, you definitely have more than one option, but there does seem to be some lingering energy to an ex. Part of the illusion for some of you, especially if you're still struggling with the breakup, is the illusion that you need somebody in your life. Some of you feel like you need somebody that you don't need. that if you were to take the blinders off, see it clear as day, you see that you're actually better off that this person stepped out of the picture. You recognize that you are better off now that you've cut those ties. But there's still this energy that lingers for some of you, obviously not all of you, but for some of you with an ex, you don't need that and you don't need to go back. Look at this. We have the soulmate energy that was trying to come through almost a little too quickly. But look where you're headed now. If you are in a committed relationship, the reason you can be vulnerable, the reason it's safe to be vulnerable, the reason it is safe to ask for love, for support, whatever it is that you need, is because this person is the one. This could be brand new for you. This understanding that this new partner is the one, this understanding that somebody you've been dating for a few months, maybe you looked at it a little more casually than they did, coming to this conclusion, oh my God, this is the real deal now. You may be having this light bulb go off over the next 2 weeks, Sag. Definitely over the next couple of months. But honestly, some of you over the next 2 weeks, you're going to be like, whoa, I didn't realize how good you were for me. Wait a minute. You like all of me? You prefer the depth. You prefer the side of me that's raw, that's real. You like that? You like those imperfections. You don't see that as an imperfection. You see that as beautiful. You see that as unique beauty. All of a sudden, you start having experiences like that with this person in your life. Even if you are still beginning stage of a relationship, you realize you get to the bottom of how special this relationship and how special this person really is. For so many of you, this person has already arrived. They are a high-level soulmate. This is somebody you're going to be with for quite a long time. Do expect Jupiter in retrograde, especially in your sign, Sag, to bring up some karmic lessons to be learned with this particular partner. Stay optimistic, sits at the center. Stay optimistic about this relationship. Give it a real shot. If it gets a little difficult over the few months ahead, stick it out because there are so many more blessings. You will have more good days than bad days with this person, okay? If a challenge comes up, recognize that it's karmic. Stay optimistic, communicate, be vulnerable where you need to be vulnerable, and keep it moving because for so many of you, this is the real deal. This is a partner that you've been hoping would show up for the majority of your life. For some of you, it's been a really long time since you've called in somebody on this level. If you're single, this is the energy that is showing up around Sagittarius now, okay? This is really game-changing. For those of you in committed relationships, we have finances and career. Okay, so you know that this is your committed partner. For some of you, you're married. You have really legitimate commitments in place. Stay optimistic, okay, then followed by finances and career. Some of you really are having some difficulties around money, and it's been a bit challenging. You and your partner, it's caused a lot of stress. I see this getting resolved, but especially over the next couple of months. For those of you in committed relationships, there are conversations that are going to come up over the next few months. Maybe somebody who had a very stable career doesn't anymore, and they need to be able to express that to you. You may need to express that to them. And somebody fears that they're going to be judged. Well, we got into this relationship, and I lived at this lifestyle. I made X amount of money, and now all of a sudden, I don't quite have that same level of success. So do you still want to be with me? Are you going to judge me? Do you feel like all the weight's now on you because I'm going through a bit of a difficult time? Okay, Sag, this could be you. This could be a partner trying to communicate this with you. One, I see this getting resolved. How this gets resolved over the next few months has to do with, especially for those of you who feel like you are in that position, over the next few months, again, getting rid of the masks, not doing what other people expect you to do, maybe even stepping out of your current field of work and starting something brand new, but ultimately getting back to the core of what it is that you love. That's where your partner, whoever's struggling, that's where they're going to have success. The reason they went from being so successful to maybe struggling, whether that was over a few months, a few years' time, it's because Spirit's asking them to do something bigger. Now, there's a possibility, I'm definitely channeling right now, there's a possibility to evolve the vision. So if you work at a certain level in a certain career, especially for those of you that are entrepreneurs, you can branch out, you can make it a bigger vision, okay? But staying put in the same place, doing the same thing over and over and over again, it's not going to work. That's not what's going to resolve this. It's definitely launching a current business in a different way. It's taking it to a new level, maybe bringing other people on board, building a team. For others of you and for some of your partners, it's about stepping out of a career altogether and really having the courage now to launch something that you love, a passion project, a calling you have always had, but you wanted to take more of a logical approach. Some of that falls to the wayside now for you guys and for your partners because your souls need to evolve past that. Your soul needs to be fulfilled in a way that current careers just are not fulfilling you. It's actually a blessing in disguise. But again, some of these masks being removed, some of this is going to feel a little forceful and uncomfortable. With this person by your side, you get through it. You get through with a lot of love and a lot of support. That's why I'm saying you are safe. It's safe for you to be more vulnerable with somebody and for your partner to do the same. It creates more depth because there's more safety. You prove to each other, yeah, I have your back. I don't judge you. Let's have a conversation about this. Let me help you in ways that, that I am able to help you. Now let's do this. We're a team. It heightens your love. There's more depth there. You'll have more commitment because of that. You'll feel more confident in commitment. But I am going to show you this. This could be the one. There are some red flags here. What I'm getting is that for those of you in committed relationships, this person is a beautiful partner. There are some red flags around attachments to exes and other people trying to show up in the picture. Be careful of this. There could be somebody showing up. This could be you. This could also pertain to a partner. But Sag, I do feel like this energy comes through a little more strongly for you than a partner. Somebody may be showing up, trying to entertain some sort of a relationship with you. They may be saying, okay, this is business related, so let's go out, let's grab drinks, let's talk about this idea. I want to invest in something. And you think that their intentions are all the way pure, and they're not. They have other motives, and it's really important for you, especially in the realm of love right now. New people showing up, whether you're single or you're coupled, really pay attention to your intuition. For those of you in coupled relationships, I see somebody like this trying to swoop in and take the place of this one. They don't stand a chance, but this energy could be very challenging down the road. Okay, so people showing up, you kind of feel like they might be interested. Maybe they're a little inappropriate, a little flirty, but they're like, oh, let's do this. It's just business. It's more than that to them, okay? And this doesn't seem quite so innocent, that they're kind of oblivious to their attraction to you. If you are in a coupled relationship, keep your eye open for this energy. If you feel like that is happening with your partner and someone they're working with, I'm really feeling like there's some legitimacy to that. I don't feel like you or your partner will do anything wrong, okay? So if it's your partner and they're a little oblivious, they're like, well, look, I'm finally branching out and doing this new thing, and you said that you support me, so support me. And look, I have an investor. I have someone who wants to come into my team, and you're really feeling like, yeah, but their intentions behind that aren't all the way pure. You just know something's off. Communicate that with them, but don't make your partner feel defensive, because their intentions really are pure. Your intentions, your partner's intentions are pure. Be careful of those third parties trying to come in, especially if this has to do with an ex. For some of you, that person coming back and saying, I want to help you. I can invest some money. I can connect you to somebody. Let's get together. Let's jump on the phone. Let's have that conversation. But it's an ex. They're kind of just using that as a way to get back into your life. Be really careful about that this month. If that's happening for your partner, with your partner and their ex, trust your instinct on it. Trust your intuition. Call them out on it, okay? Because your partner may be oblivious. You may be a little oblivious to that. So this message is to keep your eyes open and to trust your intuition. For others of you, especially if you're single, okay, you're calling in more than one person here. You really are. One of them is a really good match. Other people are going to show up, especially if you're going on multiple dates. There are people who are going to show you red flags right away. You're going to see them on the first date. You're going to feel them in the first conversation. It might take a few dates. It might take a month. But here's the thing. You have to weed through people to get to this one. This is not going to come through so easy for everybody. This person will show up and be such a beautiful gem for you. But I guarantee you, especially the next 2 weeks, if you're dating more than one person, you got to start weeding some people out. They might look good on the surface. They might look good on paper. But the truth is, you know something's off, and there is something off. But this one, the powerful, high-level soulmate that is really trying to show up in your life, they're not showing up with these red flags. You don't get that weird feeling in the pit of your stomach. When they leave, they don't trigger any sort of abandonment issues. Okay, Sag? So it's really important to pay attention to new people showing up. Pay attention to how you feel when you're with somebody in person. Also how you feel just as soon as they leave. If you're on a date, and this comes through so strong, some of you are sticking out dates that honestly are really horrible. You're spending time and you're sitting with people, because this is sitting at the center of your reading, that you have no chemistry with. Their tone, their demeanor, it's a little off. They're not doing anything so crazy bad. Maybe they're a little snippy with the waiter and it seems a little disrespectful and that doesn't sit so well with you. Or maybe it's just that they're a wonderful person but they're not for you. Some of you are entertaining relationships with people right now. Those of you that are single, you're entertaining relationships with people that don't belong in your life. You're spending time, even if you never call that person, you never have a second date. Some of you are even suffering just through one date. But it is wasting your time. Part of being conscious of the red flags is to see them and to excuse yourself from the situation right away, okay? You don't have to suffer through bad dates. This one is not going to make you suffer. There is effortlessness to this person. I'm saying the process of weeding through may not be so effortless, but it can be if you trust your intuition. This one's not showing up with all sorts of red flags, okay, if you're single. For those of you in committed relationships, honestly, some of you, especially for those of you who you're in a relationship, it's new-ish, okay? For those of you who aren't married, those of you who don't have those kinds of commitments, but now you're exclusive with somebody, pay attention to the chemistry there. Okay, not having enough chemistry with somebody is still a red flag. It doesn't mean that they're not a beautiful soul. It doesn't make them toxic. But some of you are entertaining relationships with people that don't belong in your life. It's really as simple as that. And I know that's a little bit of a harsh message, Sag, but you need to hear that. Taking off your mask, also allowing yourself to be vulnerable. When you're speaking to yourself, you're having thoughts about your life and you're just getting real. Just on a personal level, forget about involving anybody else that you love. It's just you. It's just you and your thoughts and your honesty to yourself. Some of taking off the mask is going to be required in that situation. You're going to see, okay, I genuinely want love in my life. I am settling for people that truly aren't of my highest good. You may now feel guilty stepping out of a situation with somebody because there are red flags. There isn't mutual chemistry here, but you go, but I don't really, it just took so long to call somebody in. I don't really want to be single for another 5 years. Isn't this better than nothing? The message here for you is there's something so much better than that, okay? There is something karmic for Sagittarius at this time in terms of Xing out relationships that don't serve you, seeing the red flags, being honest about who people really are in your life. Are you just existing with them, or are you loving them? Are you evolving with them? Are you growing side by side together? Is anybody draining you? This energy doesn't feel too bad, those people that may need to be weeded through or X'd out, but it just feels like there's a lack of chemistry here. Stay optimistic. This person that is this high-level soulmate. Did you see how aggressively that soulmate card popped before I was ready to pull cards? Okay? That's what's trying to show up. You just have to make space for it. Stay optimistic that this is real. Stay optimistic that you can have this with somebody. There may be a few of you, and this will be a smaller percentage. You do have major commitments. You do have major commitments in love, and you thought this person was the one, but there's something off with the chemistry now. You're just not connecting like you used to. The intellectual chemistry's off. Pay attention to those red flags. Some of you may decide over the next few weeks or the next few months to step out of relationships where you do have some major commitments. Now, that is not for everyone to take to heart, okay? So many of you have a really solid, beautiful partner in your life, okay? And everybody has some issues. Stress, especially financial stress, it causes blockages in terms of physical intimacy, emotional intimacy, because you're just stressed out. You resolve this, and this will get resolved. The chemistry comes back, the connection comes back, because it was never really gone, okay? You, your partner, you were just distracted. So that message isn't for you about splitting from partners if that's the case. But you know who you are. You know if the chemistry's off. You kind of feel like you're settling in the relationship. You are not unhappy, but you're not super happy. Some of this mask that you take off they're actual blinders, right? It's sort of like, so we put on masks when we interact with other people. Sometimes it's self-preservation, it's not deceit, okay? Sometimes we're not even conscious that we do that. But masks are an illusion, okay? They're not real, we know that. But sometimes we do that to ourselves as well when we put on blinders. We say, oh, well, this person's great, it works, it's fine, I'm in love. The truth is you take those blinders off and you're like, well, we have no chemistry, we're basically friends or roommates that live together. And you know, we don't really talk, and this doesn't really fulfill me, and I'm always wondering if there's something better out there. Those kinds of realities, so many of us, even beyond just Sagittarius, we'll go through over the next couple of months. Besides, this is a big message for you right now. If that applies to you, and only if that applies to you, well, one, start to get clear over the next couple of weeks and decide what it is you want to do to move forward. I'm telling you, this person will come in really quick, even for those of you who have to get out of relationships to make space for it. If you're not happy, the next 2 weeks, it's a really good time to get the ball rolling on making an exit. Because you know what? That's not only just being fair to you, but it's also being fair to your partner. If you're not all the way fulfilled and you're not really happy, even if your partner seems to be, it's still not really fair for them, for you to settle and for you to stick that out, because ultimately you would probably break up and decide to go your separate ways. It's going to be better to do that sooner than later. Okay, Sag, I had to actually get up and get this card because it flew. So finances and career, okay, this is a beautiful message, and this is what you're stepping into. This is how love is evolving for you, whether you are single, whether you are happily committed in a relationship and just having some financial issues right now, okay? Or for those of you that are stepping out of relationships so that you can open up your life and your heart and make space for something and someone who is more fulfilling, okay? We're evolving, we're moving toward this. For those of you, again, who are having the financial issues, your partner's having financial issues, it gets resolved. This is still safe, beautiful love. I'm going to hold these up side by side. Do you see we start and then end with this? This is the process for you guys right now. If you already have the one, you're going to come back to a very safe, stable place with them. Trust that. Work at what you need to work on. Have some deep communication at this time. Be as vulnerable and as honest as you possibly can be. It's safe to do that. That vulnerability, it resolves this. It resolves this. You get some answers. It doesn't mean that you won't have some work to put in to resolve it. You will. But your partner will help you come to conclusions in terms of what you should do in terms of career. What is your passion project? You can hold space for that for them so that they can move forward and step back into the flow of abundance again. For those of you stepping out of committed relationships at this time, you feel the energy of this. That's why it's important to stay optimistic, okay? You recognize those red flags. You detach from anything that's not fulfilling, the lack of chemistry. This is what you wind up with. You feel the energy of this. This comes full circle with the very safe, beautiful, high-level soulmate that truly is the one for you. For some of you, you have that process, though. You do still need to step out of relationships that are not fulfilling to you. There are people in Sagittarius lives right now. For those of you who romantic partnerships are great, this could apply to friendships too. There are just some people that don't belong in your life. They don't belong in your life anymore. They don't serve a higher purpose for you, and honestly, vice versa. Crowning your reading is free yourself as a separation card, okay? Some of you may be further along down this road than others. You already know. You went through that breakup, the separation. That's why this person is coming in. That's why we're paying attention to red flags while you're dating multiple new people, because you are already single. But you wind up with this beautiful, safe soulmate love. But it's going to take your freedom. It's going to take making space for it. For those of you who are in committed relationships and you absolutely plan on staying together, free yourself from the illusions. That's how love gets more stable. That's how love deepens at this time. That's how we resolve any issues around chemistry, because the chemistry is still there. There are some blockages, though, for some of you. That's how you resolve it. Having the conversation about that, having the courage to have that conversation with the partner. Look, I feel like we're not connecting, and I want to make sure that that we can move forward with longevity here. I still want to stay with you. Let's work on it, okay? Your partner's really going to respect that at this time. For those of you that are single, it's still about being your most authentic self. The new one, this one, they don't need an illusion. They don't need to just see all your strengths and that you're a superwoman or that you're Superman and that you can handle everything always forever and you don't need anybody. You are that strong. But this person wants to show up. They want to see all of you. They want to help you. They want to love you. They want to support you. Allow them to when they show up. This brings very high level love full circle for you. Let's take a look. Bottom of the deck. Make the effort to stay open to love if you're single. Make the effort to work on getting back to this beautiful, safe, stable place in love for those of you who are going through a challenging time with a partner. It does get resolved. These next 2 weeks are pretty crucial, Sag, in terms of resolving some karmas, getting authentic, not being afraid to be vulnerable, or if you're afraid, doing it anyway because you have this beautiful, safe, brilliant partner. Also, being honest and open and vulnerable with yourself, that there are some people it's time to step away from because there is bigger love there for you. If you are unfulfilled right now, that's not an experience that you are just doomed to have for all of eternity, okay? You have the option to call in somebody bigger and better and more fulfilling, and this is who it is. Okay, Sag, I am so grateful to connect with you guys here. Hey, Sag, your video cut out just at the end. So it's just saying that I do have availability still for personal readings and for healing sessions for the remainder of April. I have introduced emergency sessions and emergency readings for those of you that need a quicker turnaround, which has been working really well. But in the meantime, Sag, I'm sending you so much love, light, and gratitude. Again, thank you for connecting with me here. I'll see you guys back May 1st. For your full month of May general and love reading. I'll see you back here soon. Ciao.